Hey guys, it's Book BFF Melissa. I'm going to do the reading in school tag. I went to school for elementary education and I actually have my bachelor's degree in it. So even though I'm not a teacher currently, I did go to school for that. So the first question is, what techniques do you think teachers should use to engage young readers? This is something that I did when I was student teaching, and I noticed it really helped the second graders that I was working with, and that is to incorporate literacy in other subjects. So for example, in math, we were learning about time and how to tell time. So I read this story about a boy who was, I think the boy was learning how to tell time too, and his parents left him on like a scavenger hunt to find these different clocks, and it was this whole big thing. So what I did is during math, we read the book, and then we went on a scavenger hunt like the boy in the story, and just connecting literacy to the other subject matters really got the kids hooked. So I think kind of sneaking that in other subject matters is a great technique for teachers to hook young kids on reading. Do you think that it's the school's job to instill a love of reading in children? I think that it's the teacher's job. It really is, because the kids look up to you so much, and they, if they see you reading, they're going to want to read. So I always made sure I had a book with me, and I always when we were reading as a class, I showed my passion for reading. I showed how much I was enjoying the story. Even though I was in my 20s, I could enjoy a picture book because they look up to us, and that's, where they're going to find the interest to pick up a book in the first place. So yes, I do think it is the school's job. What was your favorite elementary school read? Alright guys, are you ready to go back to the 90s? My favorite elementary school read were those choose your own adventure books. I don't know if anyone else out there read them, but they were my favorite personally. I remember going into the library. This was before they had computers and stuff, and I would go in the little Dewey Decimal System or whatever, go and look up in the card catalog. That's what it was called. The choose your own adventure books, and then I would go and take out like a million of them, and I would just sit there, and oh my gosh, they were my favorite. They really were. Do you think that an incorporation of YA books should be made? And if so, which YA books would you add? So I think a lot of people don't understand or don't realize that teachers have to follow the curriculum, and a lot of them don't have free range of what books they get to teach their students. So I think that the first thing that should happen is the curriculum should be changed. And this is a hard process, and I don't expect it to ever happen anytime soon. But I really think that it should be taken into consideration. YA should be incorporated in the curriculum, because that's what the kids are going to connect with. They're going to connect with a character that's also 16 and also going through similar experiences. So I think it's important, yes, to read the classics, like read Persuasion by Jane Austen maybe, but then maybe also pick up For Darkness Shows Our Stars, or maybe suggest that as a extra credit project and then do comparisons or something. That way you're getting the kids to read material that is their age level, or that has characters that are the same age as them. And maybe that'll get them hooked on reading, because I think just reading classics is very narrow-minded, and that's not going to help anyone, really. Next question is, what was your least favorite book in high school? I'd have to say I really hated Romeo and Juliet. I don't know why. I wouldn't think that that would be my least favorite, because I tend to love like romantic comedies and romantic stories and things like that, but I just really hated it. First question, do you think there should be an emphasis on creative writing? Yes, 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 yes. 100 times yes. There should always be an emphasis on creative writing, no matter what grade you're in, because that is kind of where you will hone your literacy skills. When you're actually doing the act of writing, then you are learning more about it than if you're just reading it. And this is true with any subject. Like what we did in elementary school and second grade when I taught was I show you, we do it together, and then you go and do it on your own. And I think that's the perfect way to learn, and I think it should be like that with creative writing. I'm not really sure why they don't do that in college or, in high school. How do you feel that the reading you did in school has affected the reading you do now? I think, if anything, it made me not want to read for a while. I mean, I was always a reader, but for some reason I got to college and I just stopped reading. I'm not sure if that was because I didn't have time or whatnot, but I kind of blame high school a little bit because, you know, they kind of made us feel like we had to be reading adult novels to be accepted, which doesn't make sense because we were in high school, we were young adults, so why wouldn't we be reading young adult books? I don't really understand. So I couldn't get into the adult fiction genre. I just couldn't do it, and I just kind of stopped reading. So then I think that it kind of affected me that way. But then once I found blogging, I found young adult again, and I realized I really don't care what people think of me. I'm going to read young adult. I'm going to write young adult. And if they don't like that, then they just can get out of my face. And so now I'm much happier, but I kind of wish that high school didn't instill that in me, that I shouldn't be liking young adult. If you had to choose one book that you've read in the past year outside of school that had to be taught in high schools, which would you choose? I think I would pick Divergent because it's kind of one of those coming-of-age stories where you're trying to figure out who you are and kind of separating yourself from your parents and just doing what you need to do in life. And I think that's a major thing about growing up that no one really talks about. Like, it's okay to be your own person and it's okay to have your own beliefs. And I think that, you know, kids need to understand that, and that would be a perfect setting to talk about that. That was fun. If you agree or disagree with anything I said, let me know, and or you can do the tag as well. So I would like to tag The Book Basement, Obsessed Reader, Bookadoodles, and Performing Book Felf. Those 4 lovely ladies. I love watching your guys' videos, and I can't wait to see what you have to say about this topic, because I think that it's so interesting to see what other people's experiences were in school, and I especially want to know yours. But you don't have to be tagged to do this video, so anyone can do it, and I can't wait to hear your responses. Bye.